Hello everyone, it's Crystal Ether here, sliding in this video just like a last minute assignment. These themed cards dropped just in time for the school semester and look absolutely cozy with a focus on critical rate and critical damage buffs. Friendly reminder, if you really like the card, then go for it. This is a single player game, so you should enjoy your roster how you like. And if you found the review helpful, I'd appreciate if you consider subscribing to the channel. Nico goes all in on critical damage with both a flat and stackable buff to himself alongside a boost to his BP gauge. He's a solid attacker, but a damage modifier would have been more helpful than a standard attack buff. This Nico card will do just fine, but he needs significant critical rate support from heroes who can raise a significant number of stacks on turn 1 or a strong flat buff. It'll work just fine if you need a cool attribute DPS from the Robins, but isn't necessary if you already have other DPS cards built up. For frames, Nico's story frame from the gouge converts 2 attack orbs into special attack orbs for both himself and an ally, while also providing 3 critical rate stacks to himself, all at the cost of 10% of his HP. It's a very powerful frame for any DPS Nico, and the low cooldown of 5 turns with no limit breaks can maintain the critical rate stacks easily, so long as Nico isn't knocked out. Unfortunately, the rest of Nico's frames aren't that useful, with his only 3-star exclusive frame being a damage skill and others that are better suited towards supporting allies. However, his 4th birthday frame has some niche usage where Nico gains a stack of critical damage whenever he lands a critical hit. If you can supply Nico with critical rate and attack orbs, this card can ramp up extremely quickly alongside his existing critical damage boosts. Jude's one of the better 3-star cards released this year, with a skill that buffs ally critical damage and damage against brave foes. The initial cooldown on this skill is a notable downside, however, and he doesn't have any non-limited frames that can circumvent this as of this upload. His second skill is a strong attack and defense debuff for 30 BP, which is good for Expert Plus bosses if you don't have a strong DPS carry. So long as he can maintain 30 BP gauge on his card every 4 turns, he'll do his job just fine. Jude's 4th birthday frame comes to mind if you have this hero card at max limit break, as it can negate the initial cooldown his first skill has, though the guts effect isn't super useful. If this card is at max limit break, it's likely strong enough to survive whatever the boss throws at your party. Generic support frames like the Sparkle work to maintain Jude's stat debuff, especially since Robins don't have nearly as many frames as the other heroes. And it would be the other choice in terms of recommendations. This Bianchi card isn't bad either, though the requirements to use his second skill put him a little behind Jude for support. Providing critical rate buffs and BP to the team is nice and makes this card a slight upgrade to other 3-star cards with similar effects, but ultimately isn't a must-have to get unless you're a fan of Bianchi. As a BP battery, he can easily use the Sparkle to further supply more BP to his allies. Otherwise, his 3rd birthday frame is a limited option that gives BP to anyone who lands a critical hit. It depends on your strategy, but if you're sticking with the set, then Bianchi's 3rd birthday frame performs better in keeping Nico rolling. Rounding off this set is Sage's 2nd Welfare 4-star, another support-oriented card with plenty of critical rate buffs to support this Nico card. Alongside a damage modifier, burst damage, and stackable attack buff, he's an excellent choice for a support position for new players, though Sage's Rising Hero version is still unbeatable in support against pure attribute enemies. If you've already built other support Robin cards such as Bunny Bianchi, then you won't really need the Sage card. However, he's currently the only other 4-star cool attribute card for this hero, so grabbing at least one copy of Student Sage is worth the trouble. Like most supports, the hunting frame can be equipped to supplement your team's damage output through normal attacks, so long as Sage can pay 50 BP. Unfortunately, Sage's 3-star frames all revolve around healing, which isn't very useful in a game that encourages quick kills. In this case, the Sparkle frame, yet again, can work as a free alternative. The frames that can further increase critical rate stacks or other offensive buffs would be better for this hero card. These Robin cards are a turn towards simplicity after the text-heavy kits from the 4th anniversary cards, though this doesn't necessarily mean they're a weak set. They're useful and can dish out some serious damage, and sometimes that's all you need. That's all for this review for these cards. Hopefully it's helped you in some way, and I'll see you on the next video.